I knew I'd forget that. Okay, hopefully that works. So I just wanted to do this weekly. I'm hoping I can do it weekly. That's my goal. Obviously, like holidays and stuff might make it challenging. But just a weekly opportunity to meet and go through. I love hearing wins from you guys. So go through wins and then go through if you guys have any questions or challenges or anything, so I can answer them. Because usually if somebody has a question, it will apply to everyone. So I thought it would be really fun to do some group calls and kind of go through, celebrate each other, and then also go through if you have any questions on anything, and then I can answer them. And we have the recordings too to save for everybody. And then also, as we have time, probably some weeks will have more time, some weeks will have less. I want to just kind of have a topic or something that I'm hitting on just to add to it. So just to start, I would love to hear any wins for like today or this week or just so far with coaching. Anything like little small new habits maybe you've implemented or learnings or insights or whatever, strength gains, anything. I won't call anyone out. You guys can just.
I can go.
Okay.
I can go. So I'm totally new. So I think officially we start on Monday, but I've kind of been trying to clean up my act a little bit this week. And I'm of the camp who probably wasn't eating enough and like would finish my kids' lunch instead of making my own lunch, that kind of thing, especially with the kids being home so much. So I've really just been more mindful of not skipping meals, and they haven't been perfect by any means, but just not skipping meals, not skipping breakfast, that kind of thing. And I already feel better even in like 3 days or 4 days. I guess today's the 4th day of doing that. So I'm excited to really get it going and be more mindful of it. I did have one question. Do you want to do questions later or
sure.
no? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. It's fine.
Okay. It's just a quick one on MyFitnessPal with how it's paired with my workouts. It's adding the calories or like giving them back to me. Do we want to be doing that or no?
That's something I always forget to tell people. So turn that off.
Okay.
If you like to enter in your workouts on MyFitnessPal, that's great. But make sure you go to, and if you don't know how to do that, you can go to MyFitnessPal and go to more and then goals. I believe it's goals. And then you can go to exercise calories at the very bottom, and it will toggle. And it's something that you maybe just check every once in a while, because I don't know, I swear sometimes it toggles back on. And then it'll have the toggle for adjust my calorie goal, and then just turn it off. So yes, that's important, because if I am programming your nutrition for you, it'll be based on your activity level. So I'll adjust your calories if like we're, increasing your volume or decreasing it. But yeah, good question. That's a great question. I'm going to forget to address it sometimes. Any other wins so far? Oh, I was going to just say, Laura, with yours, I love that win because it's so true. Really, I think the biggest thing for my clients is feeling that balanced energy, balanced hunger levels. That just rolls over into your workouts, being able to really give everything in your workouts, not feel like you're dragging, and have like that really uneven energy levels. And then also it rolls over into making great food choices, because you don't get to that place where you're just like deprived and need fast fuel, and that food panic kicks in, and it can be really hard to choose a high protein, nutrient dense meal when you're deprived. So good for you for already figuring that out. Yeah.
Go.
Okay.
My win this week is I've had so far 1 week with no alcohol. I'm not an alcoholic, but I love my wine. I love enjoying like a glass of wine. And the weekends is like the time where it's like, oh, wine and beer. Let's go hang out with friends and family. And yeah, it's been 1 week. I'm trying to like hold off at least until the new year, or at least till around Christmas. But yeah, like the energy,
huge.
Yeah, the energy is definitely way more better than it was when I'm not drinking. Cause like I love to have a glass of wine at the end of the day. but then of course you have the wine and then their bag of chips is right there.
Right.
So they tend to go hand in hand in my world. So I've like, let's just cut it out. And then, so I've just been able to do that, and definitely helped me increase my workouts more. So I was telling Michaela, I was able to hit like 150-pound front squat for 3 reps for a competition.
So cool.
I had 12 minutes and I lost down the 12 minutes to get 160, but I'm like, okay, well, I'll take it. It's still a win. Still a win.
Take a PR. Take your PRs when you can get them, right?
Exactly. It gets so
That's
easy. It'll happen often.
That's really cool. I'm excited to hear more on that, how that continues for you, Brandy. I think that's probably one of the main things with alcohol. It's not necessarily like you can make it fit. But obviously, if you are consuming alcohol regularly, it can affect your food choices. Because like you said, a lot of times it's just easier to be a little more loose with what you're eating when you are drinking. And then also just quality of sleep. I think like drinking wine, I can't remember which client it was. I think it was Jessica. I don't know if she's on here or not. I don't think she is. So hopefully she doesn't mind me saying, but she was saying that
I'm here. You can talk.
Oh, no, a different Jess, actually. I think, unless you talk to me about wine also.
I probably need some wine in my life.
Yeah, some of us could use some of us maybe should cut back. So she was saying that she was a nightly glass of wine drinker, and it, calmed her down, but then she noticed on her Apple Watch, her sleep quality was way lower. Like she'd be getting the same amount of hours, but her quality of sleep was so much lower. So she cut it out and has just a lot more energy now. So, you got to decide which sacrifices make the most sense for you in, different stages of your life. But that is one area you can definitely benefit from looking at.
Agreed.
Any other wins so far?
I'll go. Mine is just kind of like a general, I've been working with Michaela for over 6 months now, and it's more of a mindset shift for me. One of my biggest wins. I had a really hard time like giving myself the okay to take time away from my kids and work out for myself. Like even just that hour, I felt so guilty if I was, putting them in a pen and saying, okay, here, like throw some toys at them and having them stuck in there. So understanding that it is okay to invest this time in myself, and knowing that I'm able to, like play with them and, in the long term, like losing all the weight, be more active with them. So I know that it's better for me stress wise to just take that time, work out, and they're okay. They're going to live. It's only an hour. So I think that's been my biggest win, other than all the other wins, but mind shift is great.
I love that, because also, sorry, I got a toddler following me here. It's cool for them to like grow up and see you taking care of yourself, and to see it like makes me emotional to see you be strong, like to view their mom as someone that is strong and capable and someone that challenges herself. So I'm proud of you for that. That's awesome. Anyone else while I get her a snack?
Sure, I'll chime in real quick. So I think my win for the week, and Michaela, I mentioned this to you in a message the other day, is my ability to make better decisions on the fly. So just so the group knows, I'm actually living out of our RV right now for the whole month. And we started back in, I guess, the week of Halloween. We went to Myrtle Beach. I live in North Carolina, but we've been in Georgia. We're in Alabama now. We're going to go back to Georgia and then back to Myrtle Beach for Thanksgiving. So like I made food the other day thinking, all right, I have it all in my Fitness Pal. I'm going to eat it. And then I go and my boyfriend has already eaten the food that I had planned on putting together for a meal. So I kind of had to like get creative and be like, all right, what am I going to eat that's not going to just like throw me over the edge, because Lord knows I'll just go grab snacks and eat them. So this trip has definitely taught me to be conscientious on the fly and make better decisions. And I think just getting all of my workouts in, while traveling has been huge. This is our second month-long trip that we've done. We did this back in September, and I worked out twice the entire month. And by the time I got home, I was miserable. And that's kind of how I ended up reaching out to you. It was like perfect timing that you even put it on your stories that you were going to start taking on clients. And I said, I have to do something. And I'm so glad I did, because it's now, it's been really good. We've started a lot of conversations with people in the RV parks. What are you guys doing? Why are you working out? And,
I'm
so
sure.
it's like, I do this for my sanity and for my health, and maybe my 13-year-old will appreciate it one day. She makes fun of me now, but,
Yeah.
I think that she'll look back on it, when she's in her 20s and think, oh, it was pretty cool. My mom's been active this whole time, and I should probably be the same way at some point in my life too. So, just kind of being nimble with myself, but still trying to stick to it has been a big win this week.
Yeah. And I think the coolest thing for you too, it's not even a matter of like, your whole environment is changing. Your life is shifting for an entire month. It'd be really easy to just take that month off, but you have, all we did was just shift up. We just modified your programming. So it fit your life moving forward, and
Yep.
just kept pushing. I love it. Camille also lived, I was going to say, where are you at here on here, Camille? Oh, there she is. I was going to say, you guys will have to talk.
We lived in our
She spent,
yeah,
was it
2.5 years, actually. We lived in our full time.
It's been 2
No way.
years.
That's so cool.
Yes.
Wow.
And you'd be surprised how many people it did actually inspire around. Like, I would see people again, and they're like, I've actually been working out since I saw you and your crazy stuff you're doing over there. Like,
okay. Yeah. We don't require a lot of
so
stuff
cool.
to travel. So our like basement of the RV is our workout equipment. Barbell, couple plates, several dumbbells, a med ball, and our weight vest is essentially what I have. And yeah, so it's been fun.
yeah, while I'm talking, I'll share my win. Number one is pre-logging proteins. Ugh, cannot believe I'm not a like think about my food in the future person at all. Like, I'm like, I just am not. And it actually caught me yesterday because I had pre-logged everything, and I'm like, I'm over. And I would have just eaten all the way to the end, and then I would have gone hungry. So there's that. But I wanted to also comment to all the moms that you're talking about, like the example for your daughter and all of that. There's probably not very many workouts that I don't have that I literally sit and think about my mom and how many times I watched her get up at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning. She was a teacher full time, and she'd go for a run and come home. She is 70 years old and she still does it. And I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
and it's like, you know what? I am awesome because of her. So just keep it up. And those girls are it sticks. I hardly ever went with her, but it stuck.
Yeah.
So
that is so cute. That's really cool. Anyone else have any wins or questions that they have? Oh,
I'll share.
More joining here. Yeah.
I feel like lately, especially, I'm in a place now that I've been doing coaching with Michaela, but just added in training. The training's been a month, but the nutrition's been since May. And I feel like overall my relationship with food is decent, pretty neutral, but I feel like, especially because I've been so consistent in the last 6 months, that a lot of foods that like I'm just more intentional and mindful in, like, I'm not even wanting to grab extra stuff, or like, oh, I want that handful of M&Ms, or just because I feel so much better with being consistent and putting good things in my body. So I feel like as I've been consistent, that's like the payoff of like the other things aren't even really like attractive to eat. Not that I never have treats, because I do, but it just feels, it's just like, I don't know, it just feels easier.
You've like really, really felt the benefits of being consistent and fueling your body well over a long period of time now.
Yep.
I love that one. Anyone else? or any questions too. I mean, if you have a question, then I'm sure someone else has the same one. So don't be nervous to ask anything if you do. Or like next week, we'll probably be discussing Thanksgiving, like, you know, eating for the holidays. So plan for that too. But one thing, you know, if you guys have any questions or wins that you want to share as I talk to, I just kind of wanted to touch on habits, because some people are just getting started. Some people I've been working with for a long time. But habits are just really the tools for success in my mind. And what keep your if that's what's keeping your progress sustainable for you is implementing habits that are going to benefit you, right? So some of you guys, like the daily check-in with me, that's a habit. Some of you, I may have a step habit, you know, tracker, water, or different things like that, or pre-logging your protein. So we're going to be talking more just in my one-on-one conversations with you guys kind of over the coming week. I want you to think of some habits that you feel like are going to be really effective for you. And when I'm talking habits, these should be things that are just totally doable. Like, you know, that you can commit to them and we'll build on them, you know, every week. We can always add more. So I want these habits to be things that you know you can commit to and grow and build from. And then just kind of along that, I think as you're thinking of your habits, a lot of times how we think, and this was probably like 100% of my calls when I ask people what success looks like for them, or what success would look like for them. A lot of people will choose an outcome, right? Like, I want to lose 20 pounds, or I want to lift 200 pounds on my back squat, or I want to run a marathon, or, you know, whatever it is in our lives. A lot of times when we're when we're setting up habits, we're basing our habits off of an outcome that we want to achieve. And that's normal. And it's not a bad thing at all. It's just, I can't remember, it's called like level one outcomes. Have you guys, level one goal setting, sorry. But it's a way that we set goals, and it can be effective because, you know, you take, like, let's say I want to run a marathon. Okay, well, I have 6 months. So how am I going to do that? You kind of build it back. All right, I probably need to be able to run a mile. So I'll start there, and then I'll build out a program of habits to get me to that marathon. And where I think a lot of times we forget, and I've probably talked to a couple of you about this, but we forget to kind of reprogram our minds and have identity-based habits. Does anyone, like, does that ring a bell for anyone? Has anyone worked on like having an identity shift in their own life and been successful with that? Or like, you know, okay, I see some like kind of.
I'm not successful. I've moved towards it, but the success part, that's the
yeah. Well, there probably are a lot of things that you already do because of how you identify yourself, right? Whether that's like as simple as I'm a person that wants good dental hygiene, so I brush my teeth morning and night and I floss, or, you know, that's who I am. Or, you know, whatever. There's a lot of different identity-based habits that we probably all do. Like Christina, I'm sure you cook a meal probably every day. She's a food blogger. She's incredible. I'll have to Christina, will you share your like link to your cookbook at some point in the chat?
Yeah, if I can figure it out.
Yeah, but if not, I'll send it to you guys. But she has lots of healthy recipes. But I'm guessing you probably cook regularly, right? That's just who you are. Yeah, so that's an identity. That's how you identify yourself, and that's probably a habit for you. That's really pretty easy. So for instance, an example of that would be like, okay, I want to run a marathon. And one problem that can occur, hopefully Zoom doesn't kick us out at 12:30, but one problem that can occur with outcome-based habits is once you hit that outcome, like, then what? A lot of people that set a goal to, you know, lose 20 pounds or run a marathon, they'll reach that outcome and then completely go back to just not running anymore and not taking care of themselves. And, you know, so all of a sudden the outcome's over and they don't really think about the what's next. So if you shift your goals to identity based, then you can say, like, for instance, okay, I want to run a marathon. That's an easy one. So I'm a runner. So what does a runner do? Like, how do they fuel their body? What do they do daily? They probably are moving their body, right? So maybe you're not doing any running. Okay, I'm going to buy a pedometer and I'm going to shoot for 1,000 steps after work every day. That's just what I'm going to do. And then the next week, maybe I'm going to do 1,050. And then the next week I'm going to do 1,100 or whatever, just slowly building off of that until all of a sudden you're hitting 10,000 steps a day and you're able to increase your speed and you're adding in running. And then you run that marathon, but you're a runner. So you're going to keep running. That's just part of who you are, right? And same things with maybe fat loss goals. Like, how would I fuel my body to be whatever it is? Maybe that vision of yourself that you want to get to, like, how does that person act? She probably eats vegetables regularly. She knows she feels her best when she does. She moves every day. She might not be working out, but she's doing something for her body every day, whether that's lifting weights or something restorative, because she really cares about her body and wants to be healthy and feel her best. So kind of like shifting your identity. And then those habits are just going to be who you are, what you do. Does that resonate with any of you guys? Is that kind of something maybe you could practice? So as I ask you guys your habits this week, like thinking of what outcome you want to achieve, start there. And then what does that person like? And I can be that person right now. I can start acting as if I'm that person right now. And then what habits do I want to start with that are small wins for me that I can prove to myself that I am that person? So whether that's, I hit my protein every day, like that's what I do because I want to maintain my muscle mass. So maybe, okay, a good habit would be pre-logging your protein. Or having one day a week where you make sure you have protein options. Those are just, and then checking that off. Like, I did it. That's a small win. And we can have that habit scheduled for you. And then also kind of with that, like, any thoughts on that part anyone want to share? You don't have to. Yeah.
That really helped. Well, from us, or for me, I guess specifically, I have a hard time when it comes to going out of town and being consistent with drinking water, working out, making healthy meals because I'm not in my own environment where I have all those tools. So like the outcome of like, okay, for example, not that this is going to happen, but if I go to Hawaii in a month, my goal would be a certain amount of weight, but to maintain that while you're on vacation or while you're out of your element, I think like that's super helpful to keep in mind too, that it's not just this is the last day of this like goal or outcome, and then I get to let it like fall by the wayside and just, let it go. So
right. Yeah, I love that. Because it's really important to you to take care of your body. So that means even when you're on vacation, you might not be hitting your like gym workouts, but you'll be moving your body, you'll be drinking water, you'll be getting good rest, those types of things. And then I think too, with that, like finding ways to make habits natural for you can be really beneficial too. For instance, like maybe thinking of something that you already do every day, whether that's brushing your teeth or like maybe if you make coffee every morning. A lot of people do that. So, okay, every time I make coffee, while that's brewing, I'm going to drink 24 ounces of water. And just pairing a healthy habit that's going to benefit you with something that is already just like automatic for you is really helpful too, because a lot of times, and those are the hardest habits to break, like, if you're a soda drinker, maybe you have a soda shop you go to, and every time like you leave your house, all of a sudden it's like, oh, driving in the car, I need to get a soda or whatever, I need to get a coffee or whatever it is. Sometimes those can be really hard habits to break. But that's why they're really good if you want to implement a new habit. Maybe just jotting down the things that you like 100% always do, and then pairing that with something that's going to benefit your health, whether that's drinking water or, maybe some movement, different things like that. And then I think the last thing I wanted to mention too was another kind of hack is like committing to 5 minutes of a habit. So if you want to implement a new habit, and that maybe that's something you want to do daily, 5 days a week. Like for instance, maybe you're having trouble hitting your workouts. So committing to the first 5 minutes of whatever your habit is. So for your workouts, it's like, I'm going to put on my clothes and a lot of us aren't going to the gym right now. So I'm either going to put on my clothes and I'm going to get in the car and pull out of the driveway, like to head to the gym. That takes me about 5 minutes. Or I'm going to fill up my, workout drink, and I'm going to go turn the heater on in the garage and go out to the garage. If you have a heater, if you're blessed with a heater. Or, just the first 5 minutes, or if I want to have protein throughout the day, like, okay, every Monday, I'm going to get out the chicken. I'm going to just start seasoning it and start cooking it. You're probably going to follow through on those habits that you start. Because a lot of times the hardest part is those first 5 minutes. I was actually taking my own advice on that today, because I have a treadmill in my garage and it's like snowy out here. It's really cold and I don't love running. And so I'm like, okay, once I'm on the treadmill, I'm fine. I can do whatever it is I decide to do, but it's just the changing my clothes, getting out there, that is really hard for me to get motivated to do. So if I'm just committing to that, once I step on the treadmill, like, I'm probably going to do something. Unless like there's a freak accident or something, I'm going to get a workout in. So committing to your first 5 minutes of your habit can be really beneficial as well. Yeah. So other than that, I just kind of wanted to talk through habits. I'm going to be talking with you guys individually just about, so start like thinking about that, probably on your next check-in. And this was so much fun. Would you guys mind if I took a photo of you guys? I could blank out anyone's faces or names if you don't want me to share them too. You guys mind?
Can I add one suggestion after you're done?
Yeah, I'd love. Oh, photo first. Okay. All right. Let's see if I can even know how to do this. Okay, everyone smile. Okay. Yeah, I want to hear your suggestion.
So I go to Orange Theory for my workouts. I'm not disciplined to work out in my house. I don't have much equipment anyways, but I schedule it. So I kind of, it keeps me accountable to go. And so I schedule it out as far as I can. And then we base our schedule, because we work from home. So we base our schedule based on that.
I love that. Yes. And you can still do that even if you're working out at home. Put it in your calendar and share it with your spouse.
Gretchen, I do the exact same thing. I work from home. I block my calendar so that way nobody can book me calls. And I even put gym time. So if my boss sees it, don't bother me, because I'm not going to look at it.
I love that. Yes. If only we could schedule that with our kids too, but
I'm fortunate. Mine's 13.
Workout schedule.
She's in dance, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm a dance
mom.
mom.
You're gonna be gone for 3 hours, so I guess
she is like 4 days a week.
Workout. Well, thank you guys so much for joining. This was really fun, and I'm excited to do more of these. So if you guys have any topics that you want me to cover, then I would love that. Otherwise, I'll come up with them. Yeah, next week, I would say we'll probably for sure do next week, and I'm going to talk through Thanksgiving, and then we'll probably take Thanksgiving week off and then start again for, there's all kinds of things we can talk about in December. So I'm excited for all of you guys to come into the new year just feeling amazing. So check in with me and let me know if you guys have any questions. And I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything in the chat. Yeah, baby steps, Laura. I love that too. Just breaking down whatever it is your goal is. Suggestions on how to hit protein. Okay, I'll be messaging you, Gretchen. Okay. If anyone else needs protein ideas too, just send me a message and I'll make sure I get them to you. Okay.
I will vouch she is good for that.
Lots of protein ideas. I should probably just send them standard, but I'll make you work for it. You got to message me. Okay. All right. Have a good week, guys. Talk to you later.